This video will be a little bit different than the past ones. I want to take a pause here and share with you how I build two of the large Felucia plants. These are going to be used in numerous areas throughout the MoC. I'm going to build two different types. One is the large Felucia blue plant. It's kind of the larger version of the medium one that maybe you saw in the previous video. And then a large Felucia tree. These are seen all over the place. I copied this design 100% from a guy named Nate Builds who shared it on Instagram. Fantastic builder. Follow him. I will make these instructions available on Rebrickable as well. What I want to do now is walk you through how I build the large Felucia blue plant that is prevalent throughout the entire Clone Wars. So start out with one of these. We need to make 8 of these. So this is a 10 by 1 slope. I had an attachment piece here. And then effectively what we're going to do is build 8 of these, and they are going to clip into this piece right here. These are all put together. So as you can see, all I did here at first is put the clip on the end of each of these. So there's 8 of those. These are the brackets. We're going to go ahead and put that bracket on each of these like so. Bracket pieces are on. So as you can see, this is what we have right now. It's a 10 by 1 plate with this clip and then the bracket. So now we're going to go ahead and add these curved slopes just to kind of solidify it and also hide a little bit of the gray. Right now we're just going to go ahead and attach all of these 2 by 1 slopes very quickly. Okay, great. The slopes are on. Now we're going to go ahead and combine these around in a circle. They just simply clip on. Again, I'd probably prefer to have a blue mounting base. I don't right now, so we'll deal with it. We'll see if this is something that I think I can hide that better in the MoC once I get things situated. Okay, now that we have that set up, you can see it's kind of mounted like this. What we're going to do, we need a centerpiece here so that as you look through it, it looks a little bit cleaner. So we're just going to take a number of these 2 by 2 translucent blues and just stack them together. We probably need, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8. Let's see how many we need. Add one more for good luck. And again, these are really just for the kind of the background there, okay? Now, next piece is to go ahead and add these jumper plates. So it's 3 studs long, but it's a jumper plate that has 2 studs on top. So we're going to go ahead and add that. Very good. So that's what that looks like then. Now the reason that we're using the jumper plate is we want to go ahead and add a 6 by 6 circular plate, and that fits infinitely better when you have the jumper plates on. So let's go ahead and put that on. Again, tiny bit finicky, but we can get this on there pretty easily. Okay, now once that goes all the way around, it's actually pretty sturdy. So you see now we have a pretty sturdy base. Yes, you can see through it a little bit, but we put those 2 by 2s inside. So I think that's going to look pretty good. I could not find this plate in the same dark azure as this. So this is actually the medium azure color, which is why you see the discrepancy there. The next piece is to go ahead and add on these 1 by 2 clips. They simply go around. We're going to have 4 of those, and they go around in a circle here. And then what I did, I went ahead and added one of these guys, and we're going to put that on the top. Before I do that, though, I need to put a little tiny clip in there, not a clip, but a pin. We're going to put a pin right there so that this will sit a little bit more steady. I grabbed a small pin here. That's going to go right in here. And then that simply creates a mounting point for this guy. And then again, that just kind of adds a little bit more translucence to it. You can see what we're looking at here. Now comes the cool part. I found these pieces. These are large windshield pieces. My son bought a space set recently that had these in gray, but lo and behold, they're available in blue. And so we're going to add these around as the large petals of the flower. They should just clip on like so. And then if you pull them up all the way, it forms a perfect circle. And this is what it looks like here when we have the plant completed for Felucia. Now, again, there's a little bit of gray on these brackets that you can see, so I'm not crazy about that. I might source some new pieces from Bricklink and see if I can do something there. But this is what we get when we build this. Okay, here we have it. The Felucia plants are done. These are the large blue plants that we built. I know that they're large. I think they look great in terms of what I'm trying to do from a scale perspective with the vehicles and the small base that I'm potentially planning to put in there. I think these are going to be fantastic, a great fit for what it is that we're going to be building. I'm also taking this video opportunity to learn Stud.io or Studio. So what follows is a brief instruction manual and kind of just overview on how to build this, including a parts list. Bear with me, this is free. You can download it as well from my Rebrickable site, but it's not going to be perfect. So hope you enjoy. This time we're going to try to make the large Felucia, what I call the trees. So we start out, you need a bunch of these, what are called brick round corner. And then we're simply going to put a pin in here and then connect it. So that forms a relatively stable base. We do this 4 times, which I've already done some of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take a large radar dish. I believe these are 6 by 6. And we will just one at a time place these in the middle. And they should kind of stand up. They'll just clip in. It's actually more sturdy once you get the others in. And then once they're in, we're going to put another 6 by 6 dish on top. And that just basically solidifies it. So here's what you have now. To stack the next one, I'm going to use one of these circular 2 by 2 round with hole. Place that on top. And then we kind of need to invert this thing. So now we do another 2 by 2 round, but this one has the indentation. So this goes effectively upside down. We put another one of these guys on. Okay. And that should be relatively sturdy. And then we do the same thing again. And now you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to add one more and see where we get to. Okay, I added on a third one of these. So you can see now what we're looking at. Again, it's just repetitive. It's relatively simple. Now once this one's added, I have already created another one. Now just to be clear, this is a different size. This one is the 3 by 3 by 2 dome top. But again, exact same principle. They happen not to make this particular radar dish in the same color. So there's a slight color variation that we got to tolerate. This guy is now going to go on top here. And now you can see this tree is getting fairly large. Okay, so now we're going to set that down because this is where it changes up a tiny bit. The next one is going to be these smaller domes, but again, principle's the same. So simply I'm going to grab a little pin. We'll put it in there. Yeah, let's grab 2 just for good measure. There, okay. Now with this one, I have a 4 by radar dish. So I'm going to put that in here, but here's where there's a slight difference. You'll notice this has that little, kind of like a plug piece. And for this, that's what I'm going to use to go inside the internal here. Okay, so now we have this built. We've got this next piece. This is the 2x2 by round. Now, this is going to go here. Should clip right in. Okay, like that. Now you'll notice this is the a 4x4 radar dish, and then on the top is a 3x3. I would prefer if I had two 4x4s and then this was the 3x3, but I don't have that right now, so you have to kind of tolerate where we are with this. And then what I've constructed here, relatively simple. This is the traditional dome piece. So two of those together, again, just combined with a pin. And then here I'm using white head pieces, very small little radar dishes, okay, that you can see here. And at this point, I'm not doing them upside down, right side up, upside down, right side up. I'm just kind of letting them stack. And then of course, at the very top, we have a cone. So let's put this in here. This all looks pretty good. And you can see, obviously, the idea is it's getting smaller as we go up the tree, so to speak. And then this will connect into here. So now you can see we have our full model, which is pretty beefy. And it literally goes all the way up, pretty much to where the camera is mounted. So this thing is an absolute beast. I think it looks amazing. And now I tried to make it clear here at the start. I cannot give enough credit. This is not my design at all. I'm just the shower. I'm the messenger. This was built by Nate Builds on Instagram. I'll include his handle here. If you're not following him, you should be. Just a great builder, does some really cool stuff. And he actually shared this in his Felucia MoC as far as like how he built it, you know, instructions and everything. So I'm going to basically copy what he did and see if, you know, because I had to look up the pieces and stuff like that. But this is 100% his design. I think it looks awesome. So as promised, here are the instructions from Stud.io that I put together for this large Felucia tree. Again, I'm a beginner. These aren't going to be perfect. I think they're a little bit convoluted, but it is a very repeatable process. I think it's relatively simple for you to figure out what that looks like. You can just pause it on the screen here, or if you're so inclined, you can go to my Rebrickable site. I'll include it on the link here in the video, and you can have a look to better understand and kind of download the parts list and all that stuff if you're so inclined. Thanks, and enjoy.